In my 15-year career as a website strategist, I have tested well over 120 different tweaks to improve landing page conversions. And I noticed something that kind of blew my mind. Out of those 120 tweaks I made, only 9 made any real difference. And the best part, they're so easy to do that you could easily implement all of these in an afternoon, even if you have zero marketing experience. In this video, I'm going to show you the 9 most effective hacks to increase landing page conversions, how you can build instant credibility even without testimonials, and the one super powerful tweak you can make right now to see immediate results. Let's get right into hack number 1, using social proof right at the top of your landing page above the fold. Now, when I say above the fold, I mean this section that visitors see the moment they land on your page before they even have to scroll. This space is mission critical because it's your first chance to build trust. And one of the best ways to do that is just by showing visitors that other people are already working with you or seeing success with your offers. And one of the easiest ways to do this is just with a simple row of customer photos, real people who have used your product or service. This works wonders for making your business feel more human. Remember, people trust people, not faceless companies. So you can even pair the photos with a simple 5-star graphic for even more powerful social proof. Another great approach is to lead with a testimonial. So if you've got a really strong piece of feedback, why not make it the headline? Something like, "This service saved me hours every week and doubled my leads," can instantly make your visitors think, okay, this seems like it actually works. Or if you're a numbers person, you can highlight the number of people you've helped. You might say something like, "Trusted by thousands," or "Helping businesses in 30 plus countries." These little stats do a lot of the heavy lifting because they show your popularity and reliability at a glance. And if you're a B2B company, client logos are gold. When visitors see logos from recognizable companies, it's basically like a shortcut to trust. It tells them, if these other businesses trust us, you should too, And the same goes for media logos. If you've been featured in any well-known publications or you've been featured on a podcast or something like that, definitely get those logos up top. You can even game the system a little bit and buy your way into this kind of social proof with services like Brand Featured, which is gonna write a press release about your business. Then it just distributes it out to all the major media outlets like NBC, Fox, ABC, CBS, you name it. Then, after they've done that, you can legitimately say you've been featured in all of those places. As dumb as it sounds, this alone can boost your conversions by up to 48%. Now, once you've got those elements in place, you can boost things even more by adding real-time social proof notifications. These are those little pop-ups that show what other people are doing on your site in real time, whether it's a sign-up, a purchase, or a download. And there's tools like Use Proof. These are great for that. Think about it. When you land on a page and you see, John from New York just signed up, it makes the page feel more alive and people start thinking other people are using this, maybe I should too. It just creates that subtle but powerful fear of missing out, which people hate, so they want to correct it. They want to get in on the action, right? And these real-time notifications really work. Sites that use them typically see anywhere from a 10 to 15% increase in conversions. One of the biggest mistakes you can make with your landing page is leaving your visitors confused about whether they're in the right place. When someone lands on your page, they need to know immediately that your service or product is for them. That's where eyebrow copy comes in. It's just a simple line of text that sits right above your headline, but it does wonders for setting the stage and creating that context, right? It tells visitors right away, hey, this page is exactly what you're looking for. This example instantly connects with the viewer's concerns, so when they hit the headline, they're already hooked in. And this tiny bit of copy also helps build trust by clarifying your message, especially for those skimmers who aren't gonna read every single word, right? It makes the page feel cohesive and aligned with what they need, which means they're much more likely to stick around. People don't want to feel like they're reading some formal corporate pitch, right? They want to feel like they're having a conversation with a real person. When your landing page copy feels personal, it's like you're speaking directly to them and you build trust, and trust leads to conversion. So it only makes sense to want to use human conversational copy. For example, instead of saying low visibility is keeping your product out of reach, you could say people who need your product can't find it. It's conversational and relatable, addressing their pain points in a way that just feels human. Shorter sentences, direct questions, and contractions like "you'll" or "we've got your back" help break down the formal tone, making the page easier to read and to understand. So it feels less like a sales pitch and more like advice from someone that they trust. Then this approach also shows empathy. When you talk like a person, not a brand, your potential clients feel understood and they're much more likely to want to take that next step, whether it's booking a consultation or requesting a quote. And in service-based businesses especially, that connection is everything. All right, let's move on to the next hack. Testimonials with intent. So most businesses have testimonials, but how you use them matters. It's not enough to just scatter them randomly on your landing page. Instead, you want to use them strategically to support your biggest claims in your copy. For instance, if you're talking about how your service helped a client save time or make more money, put a testimonial right there to back it up. That way, the visitor sees that real-world proof immediately after reading about a benefit. And this is a great example of using testimonials with intent. It's from Amy Porterfield's Digital Course Academy landing page. See what she's doing here? She's showing all these different situations that one of her potential students might be in, and then she's pairing each one with a testimonial from someone who is in that same situation, but who's now seeing success. The power of testimonials isn't just in having them, it's about putting them exactly where they're gonna have the biggest impact, answering the questions or doubts that your visitors might have at that moment that they have them. The goal here is really just to make your testimonials feel like they're really part of the conversation, not just an afterthought. You know what's even more powerful than testimonials? Video testimonials that are like the gold standard for showing your potential clients real people talking about their success with you. But here's the catch. Not everyone's gonna take the time to watch your video testimonial on your landing page. Maybe they're busy, or maybe they just don't feel like hitting play. Either way, you can't always count on them being watched. That's where too long didn't watch video headlines come into play. Even if people don't watch the video, you can still make sure that they get the key message. How? Well, by pulling out the most compelling quotes from the video and then placing them as the headline above or next to the player. This way, they see the highlight without having to invest the time. For example, on my own landing page for my course, YouTube to Clients Academy, I have a great video testimonial, and I just pulled out the most important idea from that clip, saying that it makes your workflows easier, faster, and more efficient. Now, even if someone were to scroll past the video, they're still hit with the most important takeaway from it. And doing it this way gives you the best of both worlds. So if someone does watch, they get the full story. But if they don't, you've still delivered the most important part in just a few words. It's all about making sure that your testimonials have impact, whether they're watched or not. When visitors land on your page, they're constantly comparing you, not just to your competitors, but also to the old way of doing things, or even the idea of doing nothing at all. So how do you stand out and help them make a decision faster? That's where a comparison table comes in. A well-made comparison table clearly lays out why your service is the better choice by visually comparing what you offer to the other options they might be considering, whether that's another company or a more traditional method, or just sticking with what they already know. But here's the trick. It is not about bashing the competition. You don't need to overload the table with all these, red X marks for every other option. That is gonna come across as really biased and salesy. Instead, you wanna keep it a little bit more balanced, right? Show where the competition might be good, but highlight your differentiators, right? The things that make your service better, faster, or more effective. This way, it feels a lot more like you're educating your audience, not just selling to them. For instance, if you run a marketing consultancy, you could have a column that shows how you offer personalized strategies versus your competitors who just provide generic templates, right? If you're in the B2B space, compare yourself to the outdated do-it-yourself approach, showing how your service saves them time and makes them more efficient. A really key point here is understanding that sometimes your biggest competition isn't another company. It's just them doing nothing, right? So people might hesitate because they're used to doing things the old way, or they're just not sure if a new method is worth it. Your comparison table can subtly guide them toward realizing that staying the same isn't really an option if they want better results. And here's another tip. Make sure that you're using your table to answer your audience's biggest buyer decision questions. What are they really asking themselves when they're comparing you to others? Lay out those answers clearly, whether it's about pricing, the time savings, or the results that you provide. By making their decision-making process easier, you increase the chances that they'll choose you over the other guys. One of the biggest mistakes that I see businesses make all the time is focusing way too much on the features, right? All the technical details of their service, product, or process. But the truth is, most potential clients don't really care about those features up front. What they really want to know is, how does this help me? That's why it's so important to lead with benefits on your landing page. Let me show you how this works by looking at Ollie, a fresh dog food delivery service. So instead of focusing on the technical features of the food, things like ingredients, preparation methods, or packaging, they focus on the benefits that matter most to dog owners. For example, rather than just saying, our food contains fresh spinach, right? They turn it into something much more meaningful for their audience. Improved digestion and energy, more digestible than kibble, giving your pup more nutrients and pep in their step. Now, they could have just listed ingredients here, but they framed it as a benefit, something that makes life better for both the dog and the owner. Another benefit Ollie highlights is allergy and weight control. Our food helps maintain your pup's ideal weight and is great for allergies and sensitivities. Again, they could have listed features like low fat or allergy-friendly formulas, but instead, they focus on what these features actually do for the dog. And here's my favorite, more meal times together. They could have easily said, our food's made with whole, fresh ingredients, but instead, they turned it into a fresh, whole food diet has been proven to help dogs live up to 2.5 years longer. Now that's something that gets an emotional response. Who wouldn't want more time with their dog, right? Remember, people care about the results, the time they save, the problem solved, and the easier life they're gonna have by choosing your service. Sometimes, no matter how well designed or engaging your landing page is, there's a certain group of visitors who will just scroll straight to the bottom to get to the good stuff, get to the price, whatever they're looking for. So they skip all the details, all the benefits, and they head right for that final call to action. And that's why having a too long didn't read call to action panel at the very end is so important. This panel is essentially a last-ditch effort to just convert all those fast scrollers who didn't engage with the rest of the page. It's your chance to summarize the key points and just reinforce your main offer, making sure that your visitors know exactly what they're getting if they click that button. For example, if you're a divorce attorney, your too long didn't read panel could look something like this. It's short, direct, and focused on the main benefit while giving a final call to action. And the beauty of this panel is that it doesn't overload the visitor with more information. It's just for those who already have an idea of what they want and they just need that final push to convert. So you don't need to repeat everything, just the essentials, your main offer, the benefit, and an easy, compelling reason to click that button. Now, as for the most powerful tweak that you can make today, we need to go back to the top, because let's be honest, getting people to click your call to action button isn't always easy to do. Even if they're interested, something might just be holding them back. A lot of the time, it's hesitation, right? They're thinking, what if I make the wrong choice? What if this isn't for me? This is where a CTA booster can make all the difference. By adding just a small line under the button like, get set up in 5 minutes or no credit card required, you take away that fear and you make clicking feel like a safe, easy choice. It's just that final push that reassures them that they've got nothing to lose by taking action. Now, there's one more hack that can completely transform your landing page, but it's so powerful that it deserves its own deep dive. So I call it the editorial bait lander, and it's a whole different approach to landing pages. I've actually seen businesses triple their traffic and double their leads using this strategy. That's why I've dedicated an entire video to explaining exactly how to create an editorial bait landing page. So click right here to watch the full video where I break it all down. Trust me, it is worth it. I'll see you right over here in just a second.